to the number one friendship podcast in the country. I'm Matt Ritter.
I'm Aaron Karo.
Guys, we have so much cool merch. Should we make more merch, Karo? I like what we have, but maybe we should make more.
You said those baby onesies would be flying off the shelves.
Well, I have to put Brenner in it to pimp him out because usually like people buy them when they see us in them. So I think I need to send him off to his twos classes in the We Should Be Friends shirt.
To his what classes?
Twos.
Oh, twos, TWO. Okay, got it.
Twos. He's in the twosies in January. So, guys, please check out our YouTube page too. We got a lot of cool stuff there. Kira, I went to an awesome birthday party, and I thought you would appreciate this because it's a place that is kind of like, I think, super underrated. That I think when we were younger, you thought was super cool, and then maybe you thought you were too cool for it.
Wait, can I guess?
I was just gonna say, let's guess, and now I realize it's actually awesome.
Finish your description now.
And now I realize it's actually like the most fun place to go with a group for a birthday.
So I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, but I immediately thought arcade.
No, you're on the right track.
I mean, it's not Dave and Buster's.
Something nostalgic that you definitely went during your childhood.
Like a trampoline place.
No.
Is there activity involved?
More fun than that.
Like laser tag?
More fun.
Mini golf?
More fun.
I don't know.
Medieval times.
What? You went to medieval times?
Yes.
When?
It was epic. So two things about this. So we're gonna get into rituals on this episode. So I wanted to talk about how like certain things kind of fall out of favor for no reason. Like there's no reason we're not going to medieval times once a year. So my friend Kim surprised her husband Dan for his birthday. This is a great story. So we all dressed up in medieval times garb and we hid on a bus in front of his house. And then like the windows were down, like blackout. And the bus driver claimed to have broken down as they were trying to go to dinner in his driveway.
Okay.
So then like, she's like, hey, can you help me? My bus is broken down.
Wait,
I'm trying to go to dinner. They were like, she was pretending they were going to dinner for his birthday.
But the bus was broken down. So how did you get to medieval times?
No, it wasn't broken down. This woman faked that her bus was broken down. She blocked his driveway.
I'm so confused. For what purpose?
We were all hiding on the bus.
Oh, hiding on the bus. Oh, God. So you surprised he got on the bus. Okay.
Yeah, he got on the bus and he was like, what's going on? And we're like, what do you think's going on? We're all dressed in medieval garb.
When was this?
2 weeks ago.
Was this 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Matt,
amazing.
You're my best friend. We talk every
I forgot.
30 seconds.
It's so annoying because last week's episode, I was like, I'm going to tell him this great story about one of the best places. So I had this picture of medieval times, exactly what I just said in my question to you was like, I thought it was super fun when I was a kid. And then I think I thought I was too cool for it or it was cheesy or something. And now I'm at the age where I'm like, everything about it is awesome. And it's something that should be in your regular, like once a year.
Where is medieval times?
Anaheim.
Can't believe Matt Ritter went into medieval times. We host a friendship podcast.
I can't believe
you didn't even post. Did you post on Instagram?
Yeah, I think I posted. Oh no, I only posted the bus. I didn't actually post from medieval time.
I'm shooketh.
Yeah, it was so fun. And so a couple things about it. One is you just have to go and let your guard down.
You have to just go for it.
And you can't have anybody who's not into like is being judgy. Because like you didn't even see what I wore. I wore Jess's vest. I was shirtless. It'd be a wildling. You didn't see that picture? I was shirtless with a woman's vest.
Oh my God.
I walked into medieval times shirtless.
What did other people wear?
What's that?
What do other people wear?
Oh, they're all in get-ups. I would say about 80% of the place. That's what's awesome about it is everybody's invested in it. Everybody's like, okay, we're doing this.
But what does one wear to a medieval, like what would I even wear?
There were a bunch of women in like queen, like whatever, regal attire.
Regal, I got it.
Royal. Yeah, there were a lot of people like kings and queens. It was awesome. So you get a section, I don't know if you remember this, you get like medieval food. There was obviously, of course, everybody's got the running joke like, oh, there's no this and that. And then all of a sudden they show up with a fork for the cake. And you're like, wait, what? What is this?
Don't you get a giant turkey leg?
Yeah, you get it. They gave us chicken, but yeah, you're supposed to get turkey. They gave us chicken.
What's of course, the Karo question. What's the booze situation?
So you get uh no free booze. It's you gotta
Well, I
pay.
wasn't
Like you
expecting
pay
it to be
for
free.
yeah, but you pay for a meal package. So you pay for
Yeah.
like I think it was $85 for the whole thing. Uh,
Oof.
yeah, but it's a good meal actually. It was a good meal, like cornbread and like
No, no.
you know,
But what about, can you buy booze a la carte?
you can buy. They have a bar. We bought a giant horn and we all chugged out of it. We poured
Oh
it in.
my.
So this horn holds an entire bottle. They were like, you can fit this whole bottle of red wine in here. I'm like, no way. They're like, well, there's only one way to find out.
I love this.
Yeah, it was amazing. So we passed around this giant horn chugging red wine. And so get this behind us was a high school football team from Washington. And so each section has their own night. And we had
Uh,
the blood, I guess it was green and black. Our section went absolutely nuts to the point where like our night definitely we were like, I think he's getting more into it than they normally do. So
oh,
two things I was shocked by. One was how much fun I had. Two was how athletic and dangerous it actually is. I don't know if you remember, they do these sword fights and it's
mm.
very well choreographed. And I'm like, they're smashing real swords, and it's like you're seeing the sparks, and I'm like, these guys must get injured.
Well,
All my mind goes to what is the liability in this place?
they're not real swords.
They are real swords.
What do you mean? They're stunt swords, like in a movie.
Yeah, but they're real swords. They're not stunts. They're not plastic.
Yeah. Well, by
So,
the way, yeah,
so afterwards, we talked to our guy. He's taking pictures with everybody.
yeah,
All
you
these
get autographs.
yeah, all these high schoolers. I mean, I think these guys get laid off of this. We go, hey, was that like a good crowd or unusual crowd? And this guy's like sweating and like he's like, honestly, it was the greatest night of my life.
I bet Anaheim's got the best medieval times because they're all actors.
Right. Right. We were actually talking about that. We're like, are they like happy to be there or they like want to be Hollywood guys? They seemed really to enjoy it.
I mean, this is basically like from Swingers when the guy's like, I'd kill to be Goofy.
Right. Yeah. No, I think obviously they're jealous of the king and queen who sit up top and like talk shit to all the serfs and
Right.
knights who have to fight for them. But
Dude,
it was awesome. It was
when
awesome.
you said, yeah, when you said, oh, I've got an anecdote for the top of the pod, never in 1,000 years would I've thought medieval times.
So guess where the locations are. Guess how many locations there are for medieval times
In America or in the world?
in America. I think. I mean, I don't know that it's
America, I'll say 75.
nope.
At 500?
There are 9. I know. I thought there were like hundreds. Hero, I thought there were hundreds. When I grew up, I thought every town had a medieval times.
Oh God, you fucking
There
weird.
are 9. You want to guess where they are?
I mean, it's probably like,
Let's see how many you can guess.
Jersey, Virginia. I don't know. Ohio? I have no idea.
So Jersey's 1. You're right.
Yeah,
You got one right.
it feels
You know
boring.
about this one?
Yeah,
Huh?
it feels like a boring guessing game.
No, it's pretty good. Okay, keep going. Let's see if we can get a couple of them.
Nevada? I don't know.
Nope.
Texas?
There is
Probably
one in
6 of them.
Dallas. One in Dallas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Atlanta, Baltimore, 2 in Florida, Myrtle Beach and Orlando, Chicago, surprising, Scottsdale, surprising, and Toronto. Yeah. I mean, I just grew up thinking there were medieval times in every town.
Yeah. That's funny. I do remember getting autographs.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it holds like 2,000, like it holds like 2,000. It's huge.
I bet maybe it's a huge moneymaker.
I think it might be because we were like, how much does food cost?
Yeah, and there's no way they're paying the fucking knights.
Right. We were like, I wonder what they get. Of course, you're doing the math. You're like, all right, the knights probably get 125 a night. There's 8 of those. That's $1,000. The food maybe costs $5,000 to feed the entire place. They're charging
Right.
$85 a ticket, plus people are buying merch. You know, they're making a couple $100,000 a night, but I think it's only full on the weekends.
They apparently they tried to unionize in 2022, but they busted the union.
They busted the medieval times union.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Anyway,
Wow.
I thought it was an interesting segue into, we talk a little bit about rituals and about our rituals, but not really enough, I feel, because lately I've been getting a lot of convos or questions from younger guys mostly who are like, I actually do have a good friend. It's people who do have a good friend group and they're out of college and they get together, but there's nothing really set in stone. So I tell them about our Lugers thing. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. I should do that. I'm like, what do you do now? And they're all kind of ad hoc. So I wanted to talk about how we could kind of like give our listeners, hey, let's turn this into some formalized stuff and the
Yeah, and
benefits of
just
that.
just to sort of rephrase, because I think it's one of the biggest problems of our listeners is they have buddies, but they never see them. I have my buddies, everyone's too busy. Have my buddies, haven't talked to them in 6 months. So huge missed opportunity, as you always say. And let's just define what we call a ritual, which is a recurring event. So it's not just a boys' trip. This is an event that happens every month, every week, every year, and it's on the calendar. So there's no sort of, oh, I didn't know we were doing this. I can't go. I'm on vacation. It's sacred.
In fact, we had two. I had one, and then you and I were with another younger guy that had a meeting with. You said the same thing, and I was like, "Oh, these guys are so close to doing it right." They actually, on that level, they're on that like high level of like, "Oh, I do have a good friend group. We do see each other somewhat regularly, but there's no structure to it. It's not in the calendar." As I said, it's just like, "Oh yeah, no, we do stuff," because like I don't think we would be where we are as a friend group if we didn't have it in the calendar. And I think a lot of guys go from having this good friend group and seeing each other somewhat frequently to what you're talking about, which they hardly see each other because it's not in the calendar.
And by the way, it's interesting you're saying younger people because I would think that it also is very helpful to the older, so our age group, the middle age group.
It just so happened that I talked to two
Yeah.
guys that are, when I say younger, like early 30s.
By the way, the benefit also of having the calendar, you get, I always talk about buy-in. So the partner, the husband, the wife is like, oh, third Thursday, Jimmy does fishing with the guys, so can't do
The
it.
other benefit,
Say again?
again,
Yeah.
another benefit, we talked about this a while back. Can't say enough how much I look forward to things that are in the calendar.
Oh yeah, you love a forward-looking calendar.
And I give you a lot of credit because I used to not really care about my calendar. And now that you're so calendar this, calendar that, like I'm like there's a little part of me like Kairos seeping in. I'm always looking at my calendar and I'm like, gotta fill it up.
This is just a work thing, but did you like when we recently had a bunch of meetings and I sent you text and emails to remind
Oh,
you?
I loved it. I love that there was nowhere. It was almost like you ever see those movies where like somebody like it's their partner or something. Everywhere they look, there's like a post-it note.
Oh yeah.
Like they close the mirror and it's like, do the dishes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's on the toilet, do the dishes.
So I think let's talk about some best practices for a ritual for your buddies. First of all, like it doesn't have to be insane. You don't have to go to Vegas every 6 weeks with your friends. You and I and our friends, we have a man of the year trophy where everyone flies in, doesn't
Once a
have to be
year,
crazy. Say again?
right? And it's once a year,
Right. Once a year, which is too little, by the way,
right?
for so card game, Monday night football, bowling, low hanging fruit.
Yeah, yeah. I Golf outings obviously are a big one for guys, for our
Hmm.
listeners. Um, I think day trips are good. Like go hiking with your buddies once a quarter.
Hmm. So something that I think would be helpful, Matt, is to ritualize the ritual. Okay, so let's
Ooh, wait, hold on. I'm confused, and I like it. Anytime you confuse me, ritualize the rich. Where does he even come up with this stuff?
let's say you are doing a monthly hike. Okay, and we're
Okay.
just making it up because it's pretty pedestrian. No
Yeah.
pun intended, sort of. Name it. whatever. Give the group a name, like
Yeah.
the whores hike. I don't know. I'm literally making stuff up. Name the group thread.
Yeah.
Like make T-shirts. I'm not saying day one, but like have one guy lead the hike each time. Oh, it's Bobby's time this time to choose the trail.
Yeah.
Little things that give it a tradition, that it makes it stickier. Does that make sense?
I totally like the naming. First of all, I think that's kind of like an underrated tip, like a little gem there. Just like
Okay.
naming of things. I really dig what you're saying. Like,
Even like naming our group chats.
yeah, like we named our Sunday coffee clutch, like our farmers market gang, and just like having that text, it's almost like you're committing in some way
Mm-hmm.
more to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're building sort of switching costs, that you're not going to stop doing this now because everybody's counting
Right,
on you. Yeah.
right, and you're also building an identity of it.
Yes.
I am a part of this group. I'm acknowledging it. I'm accepting, and I am a part of this thing.
Yes. I love that. You're a member. You're a part of it.
Remember, t-shirts.
Yeah. T-shirts are great. And I think that part of it is also choosing the right group. I think we had a listener question about a year ago, like who do I include in my ritual?
Very, very difficult question.
Because like, let me ask you this, Matt. Do you go ritual first, group second, or group first, ritual second?
Usually, I think it's your friends seeking out a ritual, but sometimes you stumble upon something and you're just like, "Who wants in?"
Mm-hmm.
Like a bowling. Like I'm trying to like establish a bowling thing right now, and I'm almost just kind of like, let's see who self selects into this thing.
But what's your relationship with bowling?
I feel like it's something that I could do. I like a quarter of the year. I could do it 8 weeks a year, and I'd be happy. It's that
Really?
stress. Yeah.
Bowling league, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, do you enjoy bowling? Are you a good
Yeah,
bowler?
I'm saying I'm a good bowler, so I enjoy it. I think that's part of it. Is like I did it growing up, so I think there's a lot of this is like the nostalgia of the things that you did when you were, growing up.
Is there any I don't know what the word is. Is there any difference in being a lefty bowler?
Yes, most lanes are oiled up to benefit righties.
What?
Yeah, I learned this a long time ago.
Do I need to Google
Google
this?
that. Google that. I mean, listen and see if our audience agrees with us. Do you guys know about this? Bowling. Listen, I know this because I'm a lefty. The whole world has been conspiring against me in all these tiny ways my whole life, including the way they grease the bowling alley lanes to the benefit of right-handers. I guarantee it. You looking it up?
No, no results.
Of course, there's no results because it's something that only I know.
Yeah.
It's true. Ask any professional bowler; they'll tell you that. I'm sure the professional lanes do it differently for the pros, but the rest of us who are not professional bowler lefties just have
Right.
to deal with a little bit of a groove. You got to work with the groove
This message board is all about the benefits of being a lefty.
in bowling.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
conversation for another
yeah,
day. So I do like that self-selection, because that's actually kind of a way to make a new friend, or go from
yes,
fringe to binge.
yes,
You're like,
very
oh,
much
these are a couple random people that want to bowl.
that I like enough to go. I could do this with them for sure, or you'll find out.
Yeah. I like that a lot, actually. And then, when you already have a crew, hopefully you have something that everybody, already does or likes to do,
Yeah,
and then just do that.
yes, yes, uh,
Can I
and
make what?
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I have one other best practice, which is
Yeah.
that, and actually, I want your take on this. I feel like maybe a good ritual sometimes requires a leader
Yes.
who's going to like maintain the calendar.
You're very much a ritual leader.
Yeah. Cult leader,
No,
you
you're
know,
not a cult leader. You're just a ritual leader.
like
You don't have the
reserve.
chops. You don't have the chops to be a cult leader, but you do have the chops to be a ritual leader.
You have the chops to be a cult leader.
I'm not organized enough. I need you as my right-hand man. I need you as my right-hand man, and the thing is, I would let you have some of the women. I feel like the cult leader is so greedy about that. So
I'm
greedy.
not organized enough to be a cult leader. There's nothing you've ever said that's more true.
Can I say about what you said about ritualizing the ritual?
Yeah.
So me and Fireball Adam have kind of had created. I guess he created the new ritual, which was great. He buttered me up. Like when we go to concerts, he knows like I'm occasionally in on it just because I kind of like want to hang out.
Yeah.
But he added a Taylor Steakhouse dinner beforehand, which is like right up my alley.
Right
But it's
down my
added.
alley.
So it's
Yeah.
it's added to our concert going. It's built on the ritual. It's ritual on ritual.
I love that. Ritual on ritual. At Taylor's, so Taylor's Steakhouse, old school LA steakhouse.
Yeah. So we go early. We do like a 6:30 dinner there. We do our dinner, we catch up because like concerts are loud. You can't really like talk to people that much.
Can I tell you when I recently went with Green Day to Green Day with Fireball Adam? The man, I had a beer in one hand and a shot in the other, Matt, for about 3 and I'm saying not saying the same beer and shot. Every time I turned around, he gave me another drink. It was like unbelievable.
Yeah. No, he's got a rhythm. You know, some of your friends have like a drinking rhythm.
He does
And
have
he's
a
got a
rhythm.
rhythm. Like I'm a slow drinker. We know this. Like I can't keep up. I've got like a full beer. Like when they sell those giant
Oh
jugs
yeah,
of beer, like
in a
I'm just
horn.
like I can't even get to the bottom. There's so much volume.
Blondie does. He does have a rhythm. I turn left and there's another beer. I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess I got to. Oh, that's so funny. He's got a rhythm. Should
Yeah.
we take a listener
Let's do
question?
it. Let's do it.
All right, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, this is asking for a friend. If you have a listener question or ethical dilemma, send it to us on Instagram at Man of the Year Podcast, and we will answer it on the show. Okay, Matt, I'm really looking forward to this one because I got this one in person,
Ooh.
and whenever I get a question in person, I always like I'm going to give you a little credit. I'm like, I wish Matt was here
Ooh.
because I wonder what Matt would say. So this is a buddy of mine, big writer, and he's got a great ritual. Every New Year's Eve, him and his wife, and I think it's like 4 other couples, do a New Year's Eve trip.
Ooh, I like it.
Different city each year. And each year, a different person is the host. And by host, meaning they're like in charge of curating the events.
I love that.
So I'm like, right off the bat, I'm like, love this. This is
Yeah.
great. And so he goes to me, he goes, there's a problem been developing in the past few years in that people are getting pretty lame. He's like, we'll have dinner. And then at like 10:30 on New Year's Eve, people are like petering out. And like the last couple of years, we never even made it to midnight, which, happens to the best of us when we're getting older, but not when you're on a trip with 10 people, Okay. So I tried to channel Matt. And he's like, this bothers me. It's like the trip is not as fun as it used to be. So I tried to channel us. And like, what would I said, first of all, your friends aren't mind readers. So have you told them? Maybe they think that everything's fine. He goes, yes, I've said, what are we doing? This is lame, whatever, but they haven't changed their ways. I said, it's possible that the rotating host situation is good in good in theory, but you're putting people in charge of stuff that's not their strength. Like if you don't put a party guy in front in the New Year's plans, and he said one year there was a restaurant where they were putting tables on the chairs and closing up at 10. Well, you picked the wrong restaurant, obviously.
Right.
And then lastly, I said, take it out of people's hands so that after dinner, a limo picks you up and takes you to another bar. So no one has an option to leave. So those are the first few things I pitched to him. And I just want to get your.
Yes, I have a very strong take on this. I am that person now.
Okay. You say that again, please.
I am that person now. I'm bailing early on things and I know I'm feeling bad when I'm doing it. Like when I was out, like I've been out a couple of times with groups recently, and I'm always like the first person. I'm like, I gotta go to bed. It's 9:00. Because I'm up super early, and I know that it's lame. And sometimes I'm like, can I just rally? I feel like I should be rallying, but I'm just too tired. And so I think like there's a little bit of like, I don't know if they have kids or whatever, but like there's just a certain reality that things change. So I just want to like take the stance of, yeah, okay, you used to stay out till 2 on New Year's. Now you're married with kids, like it's not realistic. And the fact that your friends are even like committing to this trip is amazing. The fact that you even are able to pull that off as you get older is great. But I do think as we get older, like just life hits us and we're not able, even on New Year's, like I'm not able to stay up. I haven't stayed up till midnight on New Year's in at least 3, 4 years.
So just for context, this group is 10 years older than us, so they have like teenagers.
Okay.
Um, but I've also taken trips with you where we were out pretty late, so I know you can do it.
Yes. I can do it, but like it's really night by night. Like there are just some nights where I just can't do it. And even if it's like, oh, we're supposed to be doing this big New Year's thing, like I can't like trick my body anymore.
Okay, this is interesting. So,
I literally can't do it when I can't do it. Like I'm like when I leave, it's because I literally am about to fall asleep.
and even if you have 6 months in advance to plan for it, and a
Yes,
trip
that's
is
what I'm
away,
saying. This is what I'm trying to say to you.
you're not with your kids though.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
There are times now, just my body just does not function the
yeah.
same way. Even if we're like, hey, we're gonna do this big night, like there's still a chance that I'm just not gonna be able to do it when 10 o'clock comes around because my biological clock, my circadian rhythm is just totally dead set against that now.
Okay, so I want to try to get to some advice for our questioner, but I have one sort of idea.
Okay,
This is outside the box. What if they just celebrate New Year's at 10?
right. I'm down with that. Totally
Like
down.
make that part of the ritual.
Totally down with that.
Like
100%.
they do a countdown clock, it becomes an inside joke.
Well, you could also just do the viewing of like every city has a different time clock.
Oh yeah, that's
You
not
just
bad.
do the viewing in Australia or wherever. What's the first one?
Yeah, it's like New Zealand or something like that.
Right. They're like it's so like noon. You could just be like, good night,
Papua New
everybody.
Guinea. Yeah.
Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like lean into it. Like it's,
Yeah.
it's Papua New Guinea themed
Yeah.
and they do it every year and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. That's one idea.
Yeah.
Um Anything that's more sort of philosophical, like to our question of like, should he think about things? Because obviously he like is disappointed slash, you
Yeah.
know,
So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, because you have two options. Like, I'm saying that you're probably dealing with people who are like me that I just can't do it anymore. Like, I'm just saying, if you've already talked about it with them,
right.
like I'm telling you, it's like biologic, it's like physically, I just cannot do that anymore. And it's very
Ma-
rare that I'm able to do it. And
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it.
I don't know why, but your even though I totally understand what you're saying, it just like makes me mad because like uh, it's just it seems like an excuse, even though
I
I know
know,
it's
I
true.
know. But I think it also part of the excuse is that I don't want that. Like, I don't
Yeah,
need to stay up at New Year's anymore. Like, I just don't, I don't know. I feel like when I'm with my friends, like for me, it's almost like, so if we're already in this house together and we're hanging
it's an
out, like, isn't that
artificial
enough?
thing.
Isn't that enough? Isn't it enough? I guess that's my question too. Isn't it enough that we're all together and we're like getting together and we're going away together and we're having a nice dinner? Like, does it really feel like you're getting slighted if you don't stay out till 2 in the morning?
Okay, that I like the sentiment of is that the ritual is about the people.
Yeah,
It's not about the ritual. Like that's
yeah,
one of the best things you say about our man of the year. It's not
yeah,
about the trophy. It's about being together. Ooh, I
yeah,
got chills. So I think that's Matt. I think you hit the nail on the head there.
yeah.
That it's like just being in your 50s and getting 10 people to go away for a
Right.
weekend and
Right.
is
But I also think like put some, you get catch more flies with honey of like instead of being like it pisses me off that you don't stay out and I'm mad at you.
yeah.
I think you just gotta be like try to like bribe your friends a little bit of like, what can I do to get you guys to come out? Like it would just be so awesome for me. I know it's hard for you guys. Like, how can we like engineer this weekend so that like we're up at midnight this next year? Is there any way we could do that? It would really be awesome for me. If you can't, you can't. But if there's anything I can do to make that happen, like if there's any way we could re-engineer the rest of the thing so that we go out one night, because I just feel like it would be a lot of fun.
So maybe like the first 2 nights of the trip, you're home at 9.
Right.
You know, New Year's you sleep in.
Right. Right. Right.
And like whoever makes it past, 12:30 gets a bottle of,
Right. Like, can we gamify it?
Yeah, gamify it.
Every minute that I stay up past 9, if I got $100, I'll do it.
Right. I really like the idea of just celebrating a different New Year's.
Yeah. Papua New Guinea, baby.
Do you remember when we moved from New York to LA? Like the idea that our New Year's isn't timed to the ball anymore, like actually still like
I know. That was weird.
makes me sad a little bit.
Yeah. Now
Like
I'm great. Now I'm grateful that I can, do it at 9.
I mean, I love being on Pacific Coast time. I'm not talking about New Year's, I'm about in life.
Sports is the number one thing for me.
Sports is the number one thing, but I also think for work, like if you're in New York, people could still be called from our business, which is based in LA. You could be at 9 p.m. Eastern time. People still call you.
Right.
Horrible.
Right.
So, do we answer that question?
I think so.
All right. Let us know how New Year's goes this year, please.
Get new friends. Get new friends that are younger and party.
Yeah. By the way, Matt obviously is not the person you want to bring. Bring me. I will be up.
Karo.
Yeah. I think he said maybe they're doing like New Orleans or Nashville. I'll go.
Yeah.
One 40-year-old guy and 5 50-year-old couples.
I love it.
11th wheel. It's my
just gonna be you and this guy drinking alone. All the other people are still going to be asleep.
And that would be perfect. All right, guys, that was asking for a friend. If you have a friendship question, send it to us on Instagram and we'll answer it on the show. Matt, what do we learn today?
Ritualizing the ritual. I love that.
Ritualize the ritual. So
make a name for it. What was the other thing?
Make a name for it. Make t-shirts. Have a leader. Create traditions.
Get things in the calendar. Get them in the calendar.
Never underestimate the calendar because you need buy-in both from your buddies and from your buddies' stakeholders.
Yes, and it gives you something to look forward to. You need
something to look forward to, right? And I learned that medieval times is still a thing.
There's only 9 of them. There's not hundreds.
And it sounds like a blast. I'm going to add that to my, I was going to say bucket list, but that's a pretty weird bucket list. Just add it to my mental, list of things I got to check out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Guys, let us know about your rituals. We'd love to hear about it. And thank you so much for listening. Guys, always remember, be good to yourself, be good to your friends. Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.